you cool cats and kittens! Welcome back to the Sword of Truth podcast, the chapter-by-chapter reread of the Sword of Truth series with a guilt-laden craft brew on the side. I'm Jade, and I'm here with Nate.
Hello.
And Aaron.
Oh, it's just so good to be here, you know.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Oh, thank you.
And we're going to examine Chapter 6 of Soul of Fire.
Hey guys, Future Nate here. It's actually Chapter 7. So, yeah.
Just to be clear, that bitch Carol Baskins is not here, correct?
No, she's not.
Okay.
Right. You don't speak ill of your neighbors. That's not very nice.
She's not my neighbor, buddy.
Well, fuck that cut then.
And that's our moment of truth today.
I feel like our moment of truth is that I think it's nice to just really sit here and acknowledge the fact that we fucking nail this every time in one take.
I need to amend that moment of truth.
Oh?
This is not our first take of this intro.
Can't imagine what you're talking about.
I even genuinely laughed this time, but you said that line last time and I lost my shit.
Yeah.
This would be a good place to mention that we will probably be posting that clip at some point on our Patreon. So if you wanted to go over there and subscribe to all the extra stuff we have, that'll probably be included.
You can
soon.
hear us just absolutely fall the fuck apart.
Yeah, Jade went off script and Nate was not ready for it.
Lost it. Jade's funny. She cracks me up. So
She knocked you out. Nailed it. You
Yeah.
were out. That was fun.
See, that's because I write some of the funny things in there, but the best things are the things that pop in there randomly that you can never expect. I don't even know what's going to come out of there sometimes. That's why we can edit the audio, even though we say we can't. I am so glad we can.
that tracks. Yeah.
There is a small chance we would have more listeners if we didn't edit
There
the
is
audio, but
A small chance. There's also a larger chance we wouldn't even be able to keep doing this.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I've always
We're
thought
not even going to worry about what that would look like.
Yeah.
I've always thought I'm better edited anyway, so
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Sure. So, last week
oh,
on
podcast ATT.
on podcast ATT, the SOT podcast, we got some clarity on the chimes, and Richard led all of our group over to a child's scream, on a chase to a child's scream.
Around the corner to where he was holding the chicken. Right.
That was your theory, yes. Yes.
It was one of my theories. Yeah.
Yes.
No, they're actually going to the screaming child.
Yeah, in the pouring rain.
It's an absolute downpour out there.
And it is a mud village, so everything is messy.
Hey, can we be real honest though? Boy, we've needed that rain. It's good to see. It's good to see. The grass was getting a little brown.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Aaron's just got to get his Michigan out real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Oh.
started something. I don't know.
Oh, sorry, just
I
trying to
wasn't
squeeze
expecting.
past you there. I'll head out now. I'm sorry.
Well,
Oh, hey, what's up, guys? It's me, a different person. All right, I'm ready.
are you?
Yeah.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm ready.
So, our whole group, Richard, Kaylin, Kara, and Zed, multiple hunter guardian people, all running full tilt in the rain. And they round a corner and see a mother cradling her child, trying to get him to shh, be quiet, and stay out of the way. And she gets freaked out when the whole group just stops at her because she was trying to not be noticed.
Well, yeah, you don't really want an audience during a bad time.
No, well, and especially not like the most important person in the village at this time. You're kind of like, don't notice me, or at least I am. I'm like, please.
That
We faded
moment
to
when
this
you
background.
lose your cool just a little too much with your kids, and you're like, dude, just come on. And then the king is walking behind you and sees that moment in particular. Not the apology later when you're buying them ice cream, like, hey, I had bad day today, or whatever it was. But it's just like, nope, just the one worst moment. And you're like, fuck, that's not what I wanted you to see.
Or even just a kid. Like, she's just trying to get him to be quiet because he's screaming so loud.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, he got hurt, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but
Doesn't need to be a fucking nuisance. You can be hurt and be quiet.
Yeah.
So you're saying it's not that her kid is hurt and then she's handling that. It's just that he's being too loud.
Yeah.
That's what it
Okay.
seems like. She doesn't
Kids-
want to draw attention.
Yeah. Kids are meant to be not seen or heard.
Nothing. Not existing.
Kids are meant to shut the fuck up.
But he's bleeding.
Oh.
And Kaylin lets mom know that they heard him crying from across the village and came over to help.
Aw.
Is that the polite version of, hey, kid's loud?
I'm guessing that Kaylin probably said it with something like that tone. She's had a little bit of an attitude towards a lot so far in this book. Mom appreciates it, but she says Ungi is fine.
Ungi.
Is that how do they say it in the audiobook? Is that the same way?
I think that's what
Okay.
it is,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's fun to say.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
an
yeah.
interesting
It's a
name.
fun name.
It's an yeah. I had a note about it and then I deleted it because I was like, "Am I being weird?" No, the name is kind of interesting.
Yeah, some words are fun to say. That's
Yes.
one of them.
He's just a boy. He just pissed off a chicken. It's not a big fucking deal. Okay, he's fine. It's fine. It happens.
That's what boys
just
do.
a boy that pissed off a chicken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Richard, not buying it.
Mm-mm.
He's like, we need to question. He actually bends down and starts speaking to the child, even though the kid can't understand him. And he's like, hey, that didn't happen, right? Your mom's fucking full of shit, right? The chicken attacked you, right?
What were you doing? Come on, tell me. What did you do? You know you did something.
And I like it too, because like it says that the kid responds to him in the mud people language, and Richard's like, "That's chicken."
Yeah.
It's chicken.
I know that
word.
was chicken.
Yeah.
He said chicken, didn't
He
he?
said chicken. And there's claw marks around the kid's neck.
Chicken claw
This is,
marks.
I'm sorry. This is like Sesame Street for Richard in the Mud People's Village. Like chicken. Oh, I know that word.
Yeah. But that's why Richard is doubting
Mhm.
the mom's story, because there's claw marks on his neck.
Well, she's trying to cover for what may have happened. You know, she wasn't watching. Kid got hurt. She's trying to cover her ass, but then also, I don't know. Like they came out of nowhere. Richard would be scary as fuck.
Well, I think she's also just a mom of a young boy who's just like, kids. She's gonna get to this in a second, but kids tell stories all the fucking time.
Mhm.
The most likely
Yeah.
thing is that he fucking was chasing a chicken and pissed off a chicken, and now the king of the whole fucking Midlands is here asking me about my kid and what the fuck. No, it's fine. It's not a big deal. We're fine. Everything's good.
The king,
Please go.
Yeah.
the king who has one nickname, and it's kind of about how he doesn't handle things
Yeah.
well.
Oh,
It's Richard with the temper running at her.
Oh shit! Yeah.
I don't want the police and Richard with the temper here asking me about my kid and how he's doing and how he's faring, okay?
Chicken scratched him. He's fine. Have a nice
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Who
Everything's
is it?
good.
Some girl in a dress and a couple security guards. Oh, it's no big deal. Oh, and Richard with the temper. Fuck!
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, kid.
And Kara, who I'm sure none of these people are super fond of.
No. Well, I think the hunters are.
The hunters are,
Oh,
but
yeah.
like she's probably very scary to most of the people.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Kaylin and Zed are annoyed because Richard is not. He's taking this farther than they would. It's
Mhm.
just a fucking kid who got hurt by a chicken.
Mhm.
They just want to heal him and be done with it. Richard is like, Kaylin, please fucking ask the question that I'm asking you to. Look behind me. There's a barred rock chicken sitting over there. Isn't that weird?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mhm.
at this point, Kaylin snaps a bit and tells Richard he's just upset about Junie. He likely just died from exertion, and Richard just needs to accept that sometimes people die and we don't know why. At this point, Kaylin is being obtuse.
A little bit. I mean, the way I read that, I got annoyed as well, because it was like, okay, Kaylin, let's say that's true. You really think that's the route we need to go to confront this? You really think we're going to call out Richard if he is feeling extremely fucking guilty? Because, like, he thinks he killed one of his, you know, like, if he feels guilty about this, that he should have caught something and he didn't, and all this, you really think the best thing to do is go, hey, you're clearly just feeling guilty right now. It usually isn't going to help. Be a little bit more supportive of the guy. Like, hey, honey, how about, can we just heal him and then ask questions? Hey, you can ask your questions, but let us heal him first, maybe? We can be
calm
nicer.
the situation.
We can be a
first.
little nicer here.
She's just mad about the chicken stuff, but I think she just needs to let Richard ask his questions because, as we all know, he is the question asker, so let him ask.
And famously, the questions he asks tend to reveal the truth.
And he believes, okay, not only that, he believes that chicken, that fucking chicken sitting behind him, that's fucking creepy, is the same chicken that he chased earlier and the one that he fucking hit with a stick. It's all the same chicken. And Caitlin's like, dude, they all look the same. No, it's fucking not. And they turn around and it's gone. It just disappeared.
I don't like that. I don't like what's going on right now.
But Caitlin is, again, just like whatever. It's just normal chicken behavior. I don't hang out with chickens. I would immediately be suspicious of the chickens from the beginning with the knowledge that we have. That's crazy. All chickens are suspects now in my book.
Growing up in a smaller farming town, I had a barn on my, elementary through high school campus. So I've been around chickens. Chickens look a little weird when you first are around them, but you kind of grow on them. They can be intelligent animals. They can show affection. I've hugged a chicken, but that being said, they are also sometimes a bit skittish and have very sharp claws and beaks.
Yeah.
So it is like, a chicken is not necessarily going to attack for no reason. So I can see where the mom is like, look, there's even history of this. He chases chickens. But we also have discussed that there is 3 potential evil spirit things that may or may not be in this world. And if Richard thinks this chicken is one of those things, just fucking say it. Because maybe Zed will be like, you know what, dude? All right, let's check it out.
You want me to test a chicken? We're going to test a chicken, Richard. Is that going to make you settle
if
down?
If this makes you feel better,
we'll do this.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Even if not, Nate just showed us a picture of a barred rock chicken.
Yes.
Think about, it's fucking stormy. It's dark. Chickens are mini raptors with feathers.
Yeah.
Think about that thing in the dark. The only things you can see are little tiny glints on its eyes, glints on its fucking little talons, and little tiny white stripes in the dark. Creepy AF.
Yeah.
Okay.
In a lightning storm?
Yeah.
Oh,
Fuck
yeah.
that little guy.
That's a horror movie.
Yeah.
Getting real Jaws music theme right now. Bottom. Fucking chicken.
Yeah.
No, that's and its neck, its head is doing like weird bobs to the dana. It's like dana. Dana.
Just stares you right in the eye.
Yeah. They're black and white striped. I would argue more black than white. So would be hard to see at night.
It's like a weird
bit.
gray. At night during a storm, they would be kind of hard to see until the lightning struck, and then they would be very visible for like a brief second. Yeah. They would be scary as fuck.
I like to think that I would be full on Richard's side here. I'd be like, yep, grab the chicken. Absolutely, grab that chicken.
When you're dealing with stuff like this, and like there's a maybe moment, and like you said, the chimes come up, and then Zed's like, no, we don't got to worry about that. And Richard is so keenly focused on this thing. I feel like literally everybody has set him up to be the seeker. Fucking follow him. See what's going on. I think that's the right move.
Well, he is once again asking her to do that. He's like, please just ask the fucking kid because I can't do it myself. Ask him if he was chasing the chicken or not. Simple question.
What were you doing again?
She reluctantly does, and Ungi reveals that the chicken dove from above. It was up on the roof and fucking attacked him. It was hunting him on his way home. Creepy as fuck. His mom chides him for lying, and then he's like, okay, maybe I was running and maybe it freaked it out. Which just sounds to me like a kid who doesn't want to deal with his mom's bullshit when he gets home.
No, that's never happened.
I'm just saying his story didn't actually change. He didn't say that, no, I was chasing the chicken. I was pissing it. He was like, maybe I scared it. Which just tells me he's not going back on his word. He's just trying to appease his fucking mean ass mom.
He just doesn't want to get in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all he's avoiding right now. I mean, you're probably never actually going to get the full truth out of him. I don't know. Crazy fucking chicken just came out of nowhere and attacked me. No,
Well,
like what did you do though?
Yeah, like he even says he's like, well, it slipped because it's wet. Like he mentions
Yeah.
like, oh, it slipped on the wet roof, or and it's
Yeah.
like, okay, like again, but now it's like, what seems more likely that this chicken just happened to slip at the perfect time where it would come down and just fuck this kid's neck up,
right when you were underneath it.
yeah, or this chicken attacked a specific body part of a child. Like, if it slipped and fell, it wouldn't all be on his neck. It'd be all down his body, and it would run away.
I would say, though, if I did pick up a chicken and it somehow did claw my neck, and if my mom was saying that's what happened, but the emperor of the free world was over here like,
Yeah.
that didn't happen, right? The chicken fucking attacked you, right? I'd be like,
Is this him smoking?
yeah, it is.
As soon as Jade got into that character,
Yeah.
she immediately
The hand
mimed
came
holding
up.
a cigarette, and she was like, my fucking kid.
Tell me what really happened, kid.
It sold it. If you wouldn't have done
That
it,
was
I was
beautiful.
picturing it. That was so
It
good.
was incredible. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Continue.
Yeah. If the leader of the free world is
Yes.
telling you, like, the chicken fucking attacked you, right? You'd be like, yeah, sir. Yeah,
If
absolutely.
you say it did, then it did.
No, I wasn't hurting no chickens at all, sir. You're right. It just attacked me.
I was just going about town doing my civic duty, sir.
My mom's crazy. She doesn't know what she's talking about. I never picked a chicken up in my life.
I've never even seen a chicken before.
I mean, it is kind of one of those things where it's like and maybe this is too much fiction impressing on me, but like, you don't want the emperor to know you exist because he has power.
Yeah.
He has power to do things to you.
Right.
And you are at his whim. It's like, nope, everything's fine. Yep, my kid's bleeding, but everything's fine. You just go do what you're gonna do. Please forget you ever saw us, because on the off chance somehow this memory becomes annoying, we die.
Yeah.
We get executed.
Yeah. I can't imagine the kid going, no, sir, you're wrong.
Yeah.
My mom is right.
Yeah.
I picked a chicken up and pissed it off.
Mm-hmm.
That's the story. Like, he didn't do that, for one. But I also, I can see why he would just, I guess either way,
Yeah.
why you just go along with whatever Richard said. Absolutely. Fuck that chicken. He attacked me. Fuck
It's
chickens.
whichever adult scares him more.
Yeah.
His mother or the
Yeah.
emperor of the known world.
Yeah.
And you know which one's going to scare him more?
His mom, probably.
The one who doesn't speak the same language that he does.
Oh,
Who's shouting in
yeah.
his face? Well, no, he
Yeah.
wasn't shouting. He was talking gently to the child. I will say
yeah,
that. Yeah.
but it's the thing of like, if Richard spoke the mud people language, this would be done because he could just talk to the kid instead of having it to be filtered through Kaylin and the mom
Yeah.
back to the kid.
Yeah.
It's like he's just yelling, jelly beans at this kid, and he has no idea. You know what? That's a really good point. That is fucking terrifying. You're like, Mom, what does the strange man want?
Mm-hmm.
Please tell me. Why is he hollering? Are we in danger?
Well, you know what we are in danger of? Dying of thirst. So I think we're going to take a little break, and we'll see what happens after that.
Aaron, my friend.
Yeah.
What are we drinking today?
Today, we are drinking Oberon Sunshine Cherry Limeade Shandy. And this blends lime and cherry in a perfect union of slightly tart, mildly sweet, and fully enjoyable flavors. And we are clocking in at 4.2%
Okay.
for this fruit bear.
A little light. That's not bad.
Yeah, I am about to take my first sip. Oh, God. I'm ready.
Wow.
Good golly.
That's crispy.
That sure is something.
That is light and crispy. I like that first kick.
I gotta say, I've talked about my lack of love for the cherry limeade flavor mix. This is not bad.
No.
This is not bad at all.
It's not too limey. That's why.
No.
It's definitely cherry focused with a little bit of lime action on the end.
Well, hint of lime.
I think that
Lime
is
hint.
delightful, but it's also a shandy.
Mhm.
It also does have just a little bit of that kind of riney flavor kind of thing. So it's not full cherry. It's like chewing on some stems or whatever. But I mean, it's good. It's not too much. It's not too much of anything. It's perfectly pleasant.
Perfectly pleasant.
Yeah.
Oh. It does say in the ingredients that they use cherry juice concentrate and then lime flavors, which would make sense. There is a much stronger cherry flavor in that. And obviously concentrate is, a strong flavor.
That's true. I think they wanted to put the
concentrated.
base in
Oh, thank
cherry
you,
because if
Aaron.
it was too much lime, it's not going to be good.
Yeah.
We've had that before. It never works.
Yeah.
It's not a 50-50 mix. It's like 70-30.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna put you on the spot now. How many perfect unions would you give this?
I'm going to say this is a 7.
Oh, a 7 out of 10
Yeah.
perfect unions.
7 out of 10.
Okay,
I
that's
think
pretty good.
It's delightful.
Nice. Jade, you got a number in mind or you want me to go?
I don't like the perfect union part of it, but you go
Oh.
ahead.
I think this one, I don't know why I'm a little bit low on Pierce today for some reason. This is just like a 6 for me. It's
Okay.
like, it's
Okay.
good. I like it. I will purchase this. However, probably going to see if there's other things first. There's some other things I'd prefer over this. Maybe this is the extra sweetness that I somehow don't have a problem with on a lot of ciders where it's too sweet. It's like there's something there where I'm like, I'm not drinking these all day. And like, I'll have one or two, but then I got to move on to something else.
I kind of feel like a lot of these shandies are a little diluted, which for me, I don't really care for cherry limeade. So dulling that a little bit is a positive for me. But that does lessen the amount of flavor in there, which is a negative for, I'd say, most people.
Oberon in general is okay. I think if I'm at a bar, I'm only going to get it if there's not something else there. Like if their craft selection is like Bud Light and Oberon, I'm getting Oberon.
Mhm.
But typically, they aren't my first choice anyways. I think these are fine. But for a multi-pack that I got at Meijer, because Meijer's fucking beer selection is goddamn bullshit. And I am over it. And we have a local place going in, and I hope it's gonna be the savior of my weekend. And we will find out, and I will let you know. But I think it's like 6.
Well, I think, Jade, you've given me some things to think about.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to have to do that later because I kind of want to hop back right into the chapter. You guys want to do that?
Hippity
Hell
hoppity.
yeah.
Woo! Hey!
I heard that giggle.
Yeah. Cause I was gonna come back and be like, we're just fucking doing it. And then and now here we are. And I did.
You've been to county,
Yeah.
gentlemen. Here it comes.
Yes. So we are back. And so we're still with Ungi and his mom.
Mhm.
And his mom is actually pushing him inside and being like, hey, guys, this is a fucking kid. He tells stories. The geckos become dragons. He's a little fucking kid. It's not true. He just tastes chicken. Calm
Mhm.
the fuck down.
There's no stakes. You got to scratch from a chicken end of
Right.
story.
Right.
Yeah.
Richard desperately wants her to know it wasn't Ungi's fault. And Richard is sorry. Kaylin does not relay this. She says, okay, I will, but she doesn't. She's just like, hey, sorry he got hurt. Hopefully he gets better. If not, let us know. Peace. Literally nothing like what Richard said.
It's weird
That's
she
fine.
changed the message, though. Why?
Because she thinks Richard is crazy.
Well, and in all honesty, like, I feel like this is something where it's like the kid tried to tell the truth. The mom said, stop lying. So now the kid is like, oh, yeah, I mean, it fell. It wasn't, it didn't attack me. I lied. So for Richard to be like, no, tell the kid it wasn't his fault. That's an important thing to say to the kid right now. No, kid, we believe you.
Yeah.
This isn't your fault. You got attacked. It's not your fault. Sorry you're hurt. Richard's being a super compassionate fucking person right now. Now, he also thinks what we're going to find out later, which is not what I'm saying now. But at this point, I'm seeing a compassionate Richard when I read this for the first time.
And I think that's Kaylin is seeing deeper than that and realizing that he is apologizing himself for this and is like, we do not accept responsibility for things in this house because of lawsuits. So what we're going to go ahead and do is say, I am sorry that your son was hurt.
Yeah.
Hopefully he gets better. Ta-ta now.
I definitely see her perspective on that too.
Yeah.
But like, Richard's not wrong.
No.
Yeah, Kaylin's doing the more diplomatic thing, but
yeah.
Richard's trying to be a nice guy.
They'll send a letter in the mail in a couple of weeks. We have never seen that chicken before, nor do we associate with that chicken at all. By the way, your drumsticks were delightful.
Great. Top notch. Kaylin asked for, okay, hey, you satisfied? We talked to the kid. We got the chicken thing sorted out. We're good? He starts to say something to her, and then he just ends up having a little tight smile and is like, you know what? I'm just worried about you. Which seemed weird to me. It seemed like something I'm just saying to appease you at this point. Like, I'm not telling you the whole truth because I don't think you're going to believe me. And newlyweds, we should not be doing this type of thing. We should be able to be like, here, this is it on the table. Okay.
Yeah, don't be passive. It's not worth it. Get it out there. Have the fight. You'll both be better for it afterwards.
I definitely saw like the CW, drama show version where it's just like, I'm just worried about your safety. Oh, that's so sweet. And it's like, no, you lied. You're lying about caring for her.
I know this is hard to hear, but that chicken is a fucking demon. Look at it. Look at it, Kaylin. Look at it. Look at me. It's looking at me now.
Have the honesty and the communication to maybe tell your significant other, you got a bad idea. You don't have to agree on everything to get along.
We have talked about hallucinations and stuff on the show. If you wholeheartedly believe you've seen something out of this world, you should tell somebody. Just so it's out there, and that if maybe you did see a dragon last Tuesday, you can see somebody.
I wish he was being more blatantly obvious with it so that it could be more like, if she isn't seeing all these things, then maybe it would be easier. But she is being very dismissive in the face of multiple things in a short succession of time. So that I do kind of see his point of just being like, if I have to fucking spell this out for you, then I don't know how to fucking spell it out for you, because Jesus fucking Christ, you've been here the whole time and seen all the same things I have.
Yeah. And I've told you kind of what my thoughts and feelings are. And then you still ask me, hey, what's up?
Yeah. And you're going, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Stop. Zed at this point is like, hey guys, we're fucking wet anyways. I didn't want to be out here in the first place, but you got me out here. Let's go see Junie. And as they walk, he decides, Kaylin, we're going to have a little chit chat away from everybody.
Oh, and this was coordinated because Anne goes up to Richard.
Yeah.
Zed hangs back with Kaylin. I did like Zed's line where he's like, it was like, hey, we're already all wet, so let's go to the thing we were going to do, because I sure as shit ain't standing here and watching you guys kiss.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and watch you make out.
You gross scooties.
So he's like, hey, Kaylin, what's Richard's deal? And she's like, he had a little idea, but it's no big, it's just a wild, crazy idea. And she got him to see reason. No big deal. It's done now. And Zed's response is to say, you're not stupid and neither am I. He still has this bone in his teeth. He hasn't buried it yet. I loved that. It was very succinct.
So good.
Yeah. Lady, you're not fucking dumb. You guys were just arguing 20 seconds ago about it. Don't tell me that you got him to see reason and he's finished with it. Yeah. Absolutely the fuck not.
It's exactly what's going on. I'm fine.
Yeah.
No, the fuck you're not. No, you're not, because you said it that way. You're
Mhm.
obviously not fine. Just tell me what the fucking problem is. And like Richard is stuck in a spot where he feels he can't tell anybody because he tried and it sounds batshit crazy. But I also feel like there's a spot for him to say, guys, I know how this sounds. Okay. I'm aware, but I think this could be a legitimate threat.
Mhm.
Can we just check it out? Can we just do the thing? And if nothing comes of it, then great. I was being dumb and we can rest on that and it's fine. But if I'm not wrong, oh, you guys are going to catch so much shit from me.
I think that's the other thing is that hearing somebody, especially about their brand shiny new husband, say he had a wild idea and I got him to see reason and nobody else knows this idea of it. That's red flag.
Mhm.
Like,
A little bit.
let's hear whether his wild idea is a good thing or a bad thing, whether he's like, I'm going to quit my job and go become a rock star, or there's a fucking monster chicken. Either way, other people should know what his thoughts are and not have it batted down immediately so that if there's a health concern or something, you're not the only person telling him the truth of whatever the fuck it is.
Got to make it gentle and realistic. If you come hard at the dreams, then they're going to go back harder.
Yeah.
As the wife of an impulsive husband, Jade's got experience in this field. Crazy idea. Yeah, you could do that, or we could do that dishes. What do we think about that?
Well, see, I think maybe I'm picking up the wrong vibes, but I think what you're kind of saying is like, this is where Zed later on goes up to Richard away from Kayla and is like, hey, bud, you want to just get a couple beers, me and you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to maybe
Why don't we
talk
just-
about some things you
Why
want
don't
to
we
do?
just talk this out for real?
You know, and then it's like when Richard, well, I got to check with Kayla, and it's like, actually, that's all I needed to hear, buddy.
Yeah.
Let's, hey, good talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just check in. Like maybe he needs his ideas validated, and so like I don't know. It's just crazy to if you're not going to tell me what the idea is, and you're going to tell me you reasoned his ideas away. I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you're going to fucking tell me what it was, especially because it's not gone away. Because I just saw it fucking happening.
Mm-hmm.
Spill, bitch.
That was like mic drop, though.
Yeah.
That specific, that one line. I know you're not stupid enough to believe that.
Yeah,
So why should you think I am?
yeah,
That's just such a fucking mic drop
Yeah.
there. Like, hey, no, neither of us is fucking dumb. Don't treat you like you are, because I know you're not thinking what you just said. You don't think it's a silly idea. That's not what you
and
think.
you don't think he's done with it.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so don't fucking try to tell me that's what it is.
Yeah.
No.
So she admits that Richard thinks that there's a chicken monster.
Chicken monster. Yep.
Maybe we should have kept that quiet.
Yeah.
Well, that's the next logical conclusion. I mean, obviously, chicken monster.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, that is all we fully know. Now, we don't know that Richard has connected this to the chimes or anything like that yet,
Right,
because he
right.
hasn't said that verbally.
Yeah.
Right.
That's so far, that's what I've said.
But she hasn't
No.
asked him either.
Nope.
Like, hey, are you just worried about chickens? Like,
Mhm.
exactly what is your fear here? Is it that specific chicken? Do we just need to kill that chicken for your day to be better?
Yeah. And the mud people aren't going to give a fuck about killing one chicken.
Yeah.
Now, we know that the last few chapters have been this one morning, correct? This is all happening
Yeah.
on the same morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or same day at least.
They had their wedding night together. They woke up the
fuck?
next morning. They went down to the thing.
Yeah.
The hunter died. And like all of this shit's kicking off today.
They left the pond because it was going to start raining.
and that
And
this
now it's
is
raining.
that.
So
Okay.
yeah, maybe
So-
this is afternoon, but
But-
it's same day.
But also, this is what I was trying to illustrate. This is just the matter of a few hours.
Yeah.
At some point, yes, Richard should have absolutely been like, guys, I'm concerned with like camp security because there is a very powerful dude trying to sneak in here. And now we
Yeah.
have possibly unleashed magic around us. We need to check it. You got to check every corner of the room. You know what I'm saying? To make
Yeah.
sure there's not the boogeyman in there. And that makes sense. I feel like even though this is such a short amount of time, at some point Richard would have said that, or one of these other people would have been frustrated enough with him to be like, Richard, what are you fucking on about, guy?
Yeah.
Spit it out. Let us know.
Why aren't you focused? Like, why are you so because he's even during our conversation earlier, he was focused on the chimes or chickens.
Mhm.
He didn't give a shit about
Right.
anything else that was talked about.
Nope.
And if anyone else paid attention, they would probably notice that. But They could have just been like, hey, why are you not here right now? And why are you so focused on that?
And even for efficiency's sake, let's spend an hour doing Richard's thing. So that way for the next 4 hours, when we're trying to do something that the rest of the people here think is more important, we have Richard's full undivided attention because we gave him the opportunity to explore what he wanted to explore.
The chickens.
The chickens.
Well,
look at all them demon chickens.
We do have a little mini time jump in the chapter at this point. So they like, woo! And now we're inside the building where Junie is.
Mm-hmm.
2 women are working on painting his body with mud, prepping the body for burial. They aren't prepared at night, so not to strain the piece of the soul. Hay is along the bottoms of the platform, full of vermin that the chickens are allowed in to feast on, which I didn't think was that important, but it was interesting that it was left in the chapter because we're talking so much about fucking chickens. So I was like, what's the connection with the chicken there?
Ooh, I thought it was another, like the food cycle, where we're talking about like, hey, if this one thing happens and the magic goes away, look at the trickle-down effect it'll have. And this was another thing where it's like, if the vermin go away, the chickens don't eat. If the chickens don't eat, we don't got healthy chickens and we don't eat. I thought it was like another thing like, see, look how all this stuff goes together.
Look at the whole chain.
The person has to die because that person will feed the vermin feed the chicken feed the people.
Interesting.
Yeah. All right.
It's the circle
Gold
of
star.
life.
Circle of life. That was the phrase I was looking for.
Now, right after that amazing, profound thought, Caitlin thinks that the hay is gross and wonders why it isn't changed more. I did think that Kaylin's thought feels like a rich person seeing where the service people work, then coming down to the kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
Like to talk to the chef and then being like, ew, why is it so gross in here? Why don't they keep this clean? That's so gross. Like, bitch, you've never cleaned a kitchen in your life. You have no idea. You've never scooped hay one time in your life. You've never prepared a dead body. No.
Well, and it's like, what are we worried about? The dead body's going to get an infection?
Oh, no, we're worried about the rich lady who comes in here once every never to possibly look at a dead body and her nose being disturbed by the smell.
Yeah, yeah. Which, I mean, we definitely know Kaylin's been around dead bodies, but I also got that vibe. That was a little bit of like, bitch, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Once again, you, an outsider, are coming into this culture and you're like, the way you do shit's fucked up. Go away then.
Yeah.
We didn't ask you to stay here.
And then it was followed up by the, oh, maybe it's inescapable. But I was like, but your first thought was what your true thought is.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to the palace.
It's just kind of a weird thing that, you know, maybe doing that little extra observation, you see a little bit more about people than just listening to what they say.
Mm-hmm. So the women are told why these people are here, and they back up to let Zed and Anne examine Junie while Richard and Kaylin compliment them on how they're dealing with the body and all this shit. After a moment or two, Zed and Anne come back, let them know, yeah, you guys were right. There's no injuries. Looks like the dude drowned. And Richard gets real sarcastic. Oh, how'd that happen, huh? And Zed is like, well, you passed out once. And you didn't fucking crack your head open. I just found you slumped over on the ground. It happens sometimes.
That's true.
Oh,
I passed out once.
Yeah.
I don't. I probably told that story on this podcast, so I don't know if I'll tell it again. But yeah, it's weird. I didn't like it. Don't care for it. 1 out of 5 stars.
Not great.
Well, I was to say I passed out once, and it was in a hospital because I injured myself and had to clean the open wound injury, and I nicked the open wound injury.
Yeah, I remember that.
I would have absolutely cracked my fucking head open because I was either going to hit a countertop or a fucking whatever that tile floor that's in hospitals that's easy to clean. Oh, my head would have been cracked wide open.
I mean, mine was in a garage, but I was surrounded by people when it happened.
Yeah.
So I was caught before I hit the ground. It was okay.
Same. I was caught. But it's, now granted, probably wouldn't crack your head open on soft grass. Especially if we've got that rain and everything's nice and soft.
Nice and soft.
My stuff, you guys, I can't deal with this anymore.
Yeah, I don't remember a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Nissel comes in with a small bundle and places it on one of the platforms. It's not a nice one.
Oh.
It's the newborn that she went to go help birth. It was born dead.
Oh.
Kaylin is sad.
That's a
That's
sad
too bad.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Richard wants to know what happened. Mom looked good. Everything pointed to a good, healthy birth, and that it would go well. The baby just must not have been strong enough. It happens. That's life.
Yeah.
There's a brief thought about Kaylin about how like a baby is so like fucking otherworldly beautiful,
Yeah.
and this thing lacking a soul is like naked ugliness.
That's fucking harsh. This is Kaylin saying that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
this
just
was
to be
weird.
clear, Kaylin does not have children yet, right?
No.
Okay. I'm going to say this for every parent out there. You know as well as I do. Babies are fucking ugly. They're the most beautiful thing in
That's
the world.
not what I thought.
When they are your child, that's true. That's something that can't be replicated in a movie or anything like that. That's a very real thing that you felt when you watched your baby come into this world. However, they shit, they puke, they snot, they are loud, they are gross. You know it, and I do. So while babies are precious and should be protected, and yes, and all of that, at the same time, they're not always the little angels they're made out to be. And I just feel like that's important here. In the way that she's all like, a live baby is wonderful and dead baby is a piece of shit. And it's just like, no, it's a sad fucking thing that happened. You can acknowledge that for what it is. Kids aren't always perfect, but this doesn't make this one like, I don't know. It didn't sit with me good.
Okay. I was like, wait, your defense of the dead baby is to shit on all alive babies.
No, it's to say that kids aren't perfect. But now I feel like I had something and I was knocked off course. I don't know what I was going to say. I'm going to fully edit this out.
180 from what I thought you were going to say. I was like, oh, this is a sad thing. It's a stillborn. And then you go, oh, babies are ugly.
Babies are ugly. I just,
Oh,
look,
fuck.
she was just so cold about it.
She would. This is a weird thing to say.
That's all. I just mean everybody's so shocked because you're like, oh, no, because babies aren't that at all. And it's like, no, babies can be fucking hideous and awful and terrible and gross, but they don't deserve that either.
Well,
Yeah.
I think she might have been talking at a bigger level of like, they're saying a new child is such a beautiful thing. Not in the way that it looks. It is new life. Like, this is the peak of what human is capable of doing, making another human. And so she's saying, here is this beautiful entity that is absent, that has no soul, because it died before it was born. It's a bigger kind of ugly, not just like
Yeah, I can
physically
understand.
ugly.
Physically. No, I know it was deeper than that.
But
Yeah.
oh my god, that was just, I was not ready for you to say.
But I wasn't really ready for her to call a baby that either. Like,
Yeah.
I think maybe he meant it to be that way, but it was very like intense when I read it as well in that way. Like, you're calling a dead baby ugliness. And I mean, maybe he meant to slap you in the face with that a little bit, but I was immediately like, I feel like, yeah, the parents probably would be offended by that and be like, no, it's a beautiful baby. I wish I didn't have to give it to somebody to bury. That's not healthy to keep it either.
Oh,
but
yeah.
anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they are buried usually quickly, day or day after death, and then the spirit could turn into the spirit world. And now there's 2 to be prepared, so they're going to bury them tomorrow. We are going to bury the rest of this episode in just a few minutes because we're going to take a little break. We'll be back right after this. Hey, we're back.
Hi.
Okay, so
I got to be careful with that.
as they all leave the building, because they've seen what they needed to see, and now there's a dead baby in there. It's really sad. So we're leaving. Richard sees a chicken on the eaves
Of course he does.
Of course.
above him as he leaves.
Let's be honest. He was looking for a chicken when they left.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He was absolutely. And because his reasoning, he was like thinking as he's looking around up at the eaves, because who looks at eaves as you're walking out of a building? His reasoning turns to resolution. He's made a decision in that moment when he sees that fucking chicken. And he calls all the guard hunters around. Come on, gather up, my guys. He instructs Kaylin that they are going to tell them to round up the chickens.
They're going to round up the chickens?
Good old-fashioned chicken roundup.
Do you know what Richard's doing, Jade?
Circle jerk?
What?
He's going chicken hunting. Hell yeah.
Yes, he is.
I just realized something about him looking up. It's fucking raining.
Yeah.
It's hard to look up when it's raining. You get water in your eyes. Like, I don't think he'd casually be doing that. He was fucking looking for chickens.
I'm sorry. All I have are ICP words
ICP
going through my brain.
Yeah.
Nate,
Do you know why it's raining? Because it's the blood from the chicken.
Nate, I'm going to need you to focus up. And when you look at me, I need you to down. I need you to see eye to eye with me, bud.
I don't know why he hasn't tried to just shoot the chicken or kill the chicken.
Seriously.
officially.
To cut a motherfucking chicken up?
Just to check.
Go tell everyone, hey, guys, I'm sorry. You know what? Took the chicken thing too far. Hey, I think I'm going to call it an early night. I need a little bit of sleep. And then he goes away. He goes into his hut. He takes a peek, makes sure no one's coming in after him. He grabs his hunting knife and bow, and he starts murdering chickens in the dark.
I'm going to kill all them chickens.
Kill them all.
He starts whispering, who's going chicken hunting? We's going chicken hunting. Cut a motherfucking chicken up.
Well, Kaylin's not about that. Okay? Not about it at all.
Doesn't like rap.
Zed gets involved at this point because they're getting, like, Kaylin's getting a little tiffy with him. Richard is like, hey, see that chicken? And it's gone. Again.
The
Disappearing
same
chicken.
Don't like
barbed
it.
rock chicken?
That's what he's saying.
man.
He recounts all the chicken business
Mhm.
to Zed at this point. The dead chicken. The
Mhm.
Junie spit.
Mhm.
Junie dead.
Mhm.
Stick thrown at the chicken.
Mhm.
Kid attack
Mhm.
by the chicken.
Mhm.
And now
I
this
thought you
missing
were
chicken.
going to say it was by the Bard Rock Hotel.
Barred Rock Chicken Hotel.
I'll see myself out.
Too lazy, didn't read. It's Rich's fault that Ungie got hurt.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Which, if it is the same chicken, I think he might be onto something.
That's a vengeful, petty little chicken then, and we should just snap its neck.
Also, I mean, if we take a look at our history, think of how many, like, movies, most likely animated, have made chickens out to be fucking crazy.
That's true.
Maybe
I
this
thought
is a
you were
crazy
gonna say,
fucking chicken.
if you look at humanity in general, like chickens are not hard to kill.
Well, that too.
We kill a bunch of them.
Yeah, you can just grab them.
Yeah, they're
Although
pretty
it is-
easy to kill.
Well, I was to say, it is famously hard to catch them. That's a normal
Also
training
true.
montage.
But this one's following Richard around. Like,
Yeah.
it's just right there.
Well,
You just gotta
sometimes they're
turn
smart.
around.
Have you ever seen Chicken Run?
I have,
That's a good point.
There you go.
Chicken Little, he knew what was going on.
There you go.
Them chickens are up to something. They're smarter than they look.
Well, Zed says that Richard is bridging yawning chasms with gossamer reasoning.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
I loved as a very fancy way to say rickety bridge, like we
Yeah.
normally do.
Did anyone else have to
Ah.
look up most of those words? Just
I-
me? Okay.
Yeah.
I
What
loved
is
it.
what is gossamer?
Like the gossamer threads are very thin, like usually ethereal, glimmering threads. Like
Okay.
on Gladriel's dress has gossamer threads on
Yeah,
it.
we're talking like spider silk,
Yeah.
like webbing, like very, very
Oh.
fine thread. So
Yeah.
not something you'd want to walk across.
I don't think my Google search gave me the right answers.
You know, let's know what your Google search gave you.
Is it jizz?
Kind of close.
We were all
It's
thinking it.
the weird big red monster from Looney Tunes.
Oh, put gossamer strings or gossamer thread. Put that in there.
Is that his name?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Apparently, I didn't
Huh.
know that either.
Gossamer fabric. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, I understand now fully. I'm with you. I understand gossamer now. We
But
good.
I just loved it because we on this podcast have talked plenty of times about, just jumping those bridges or hey, this is a very steady or very thick bridge. It's
Yes.
so reinforced. It's stone. It's paved. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a rickety bridge. Sometimes we're segueing over it. Sometimes we're vaulting. There's lots, but this is a beautiful way of saying that it's not a great bridge.
We
But it's
Love it.
beautiful. It's a beautiful bridge, but it's not great.
the three of us specifically should add that to our normal podcast
Yeah.
repertoire.
Repertoire.
Lingo,
Yes.
lexicon.
That could
I don't have
become
any
the new network name when we finally grow up and become an actual like business possibly someday.
Gossamer Enterprises.
Bridging yawning chasms with gossamer reasoning.
Gossamer something. I don't know.
Gossamer's another fun word.
I didn't know it was the name of the monster thing.
And it's
By the way, it was the big red hairy monster. I don't know if we said that.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
In
one that
here.
doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
Apparently, he has very fine hair. Must be why he's Gossamer.
Ooh.
That's the only thing I remember him doing is doing other people's hair.
Well,
Mhm.
Bugs Bunny did his hair
Would part
as
his hair.
a bit, like
Oh,
multiple
yeah,
times.
That's what
Yeah.
it was. Okay.
So that way, when he hits him with the mallet, yeah.
Right. He's got all the shit on his face. You can't see.
Well,
Silly monster.
Richard says that the Birdman said that chicken is not a chicken. So I don't give a shit what anybody else here says. I have a problem with the chicken. I'm believing the Birdman.
Mhm.
And Caitlin's like, that motherfucker was drunk. I've told you this a bunch of times. Even though I was concerned at first too. But we're not going to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was taking chicken shots at the Bard Rock Cafe all night. Can't trust a thing he says.
Well,
I'm finished now.
at this point,
Please don't.
Richard decides to do the really difficult task of reaching in his back pocket, opening up his wallet, and pulling out his motherfucking seeker card and slamming it on the table and saying, I am the seeker. And that's what I'm here for. And you either get in the train or you get the fuck out.
Yes, motherfucker. That's what's up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Finally.
Hey, can we
Yeah.
can we just do a real quick,
Yeah.
guys? Hey, Richard. Golf clap.
Yeah.
Well done,
Yeah.
sir.
Well
Well
done.
done. Well played.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well played.
It was time.
Hell of
Yeah.
a
Fuck,
move.
you had to do it, man.
Hell of a move.
I know. And I feel like this is one of those things that Good Kind did. It'd be like, I'm going to create just a little rift between our characters. And for the next 3 chapters, reader is going to be in absolute turmoil because why the fuck don't you just say the thing? Like,
Mhm.
there's a way to get through this problem. We don't have to beat it to death for 3 chapters. And that makes this kind of a resolution feel so good when he's finally like, guys, leader, emperor of Dahara, right here, boss, we're going to do my thing. Fucking deal with it.
Yeah.
Hey, like $4 of like shit just working out because I figured it out. So,
Yeah. Hey, guys, I know you helped, but you see these shoulders? It did most of the carrying.
Yeah.
Look at this
Okay.
gold cape. Not everybody just gets a gold
Yeah.
cape.
How many Mrizwith you guys kill? Oh, that's right. Not many.
Upside is he pulled out the card, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we know
Yeah.
from this point right here in the series forward, none of these people in this room are going to question Richard when he goes off on some kind of goose hunt, when he's like, hey, you know what? I got a wild hair up my ass. I just feel, I
Right.
have a feeling. These people right here, the closest people in the world to him,
Yeah.
they're going to have faith in him and go, you know what? I don't understand it, but I got you. I
Yeah.
have faith in you and I'm behind you. So that's good.
Jay, I think you read my line. I think that's normally what I say.
Can I just
It's like, right?
see your arm a minute, JD? Could you extend it out to me?
Oh, shit.
What?
Oh, okay. No, she may have been asleep because in reality,
Yeah.
absolutely fucking not.
Yeah. Ugh.
I have nothing to contribute. You said everything I could possibly say.
Well, he turns to Kaylin and he's like, hey, again, can you just fucking translate? Because I'm asking you to. I don't care if I end up looking like an asshole. I'm not okay with failing to act, as has been established over and
Mhm.
over again. Please just fucking do it, okay?
Yeah.
Like, it's wild to me that they really even have to have this much of the adult conversation
Mhm.
when Temple of the Winds was a fucking mass spreading sickness. Where look, things are crazy. We don't understand what's going on right now. We're trying to get ahead of the situation. Can we stop stalling and asking questions and just put something into practice? Please. It could be very important. We could have this solved in 5 minutes, or we could unleash who the fuck knows what on the whole world. So let's just focus up, crew. Motherfuckers.
Yeah. And I mean,
my ADD is losing its fucking mind right now.
Well, and I feel like this is
just say the thing.
This is a direct result of what Zed told Richard earlier. Hey, bud, look at all this that could happen. Also, it might not, though, but that's what could happen. And Zed even said, it was like, hey, this, like, you got to worry about this stuff. So that's what Richard's doing. He's worrying about the worst case scenario. And I loved his thing. Hey, I'd rather look fucking dumb than be wrong. That's fine with people thinking I'm silly and stupid because they're alive to do it. They ain't dead because a fucking demon chicken killed them. Because his body count is potentially up to 3.
He's like, you know what, guys? I have walked between the worlds. I have made love in a realm that only spirits get to go to. I've ridden a dragon. I've done all sorts of crazy shit.
I banished a motherfucker from the underworld.
Yeah, I died and went to the underworld and came back.
Killed my dad again.
And I will be motherfucked if I get killed in a surprise attack by a chicken. I refuse to go out that way. We need to investigate these chickens. I'm actually done now. I'm sorry.
That's fine. That's fine. Hey.
That's it. That's all my steam is we're golden, baby.
Yeah. Well, in Caitlin's mind, she's like, yeah, you know what? That chicken attacked me really close. It was really close this morning. I was in the spirit hut.
Right outside.
All of this goes back to him just being scared for me.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what? I better just listen up to it. Like it's all well placed. And I'm just like, hey, he literally was just talking to you about how he thought that the child that was attacked because of him. So like, yes, he's worried about her, but also the greater good, like the greater of everyone he's worried about. It's not just you, Kate. Like, she's pissing me off so far in this book because she's not listening to Richard very well. She's being very self-centered. She doesn't like the service, but like she's nice to the service people, but she's also like, what about the hay? I'm like, bitch, you need to calm down because it's not all about you, Miss Queen Bee. That's how I feel. Richard specifically wants every chicken rounded up gently. No disrespect to the chickens.
That would be chicken tenders.
You were waiting for that, weren't you? Is that the only note you had for this whole thing? You were just like, that's the one thing I gotta say.
Earlier when you saw me writing in my notebook, that was it.
That was the one thing you put?
No, that just came to me, and I'm so glad that it upset Aaron so much.
Fuck you.
I deserve that.
I'm only mad that I didn't think of it first.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, fuck.
But why do they need to be gentle with the chicken?
Richard wants Caitlin to tell the men
Nailed it.
that there's a chicken possessed by the evil spirits that killed Junie.
Which is not a crazy thing to tell the mud people.
No, not at all.
No. Because Caitlin doesn't think that he actually believes, because he doesn't believe in the evil spirits, right? He doesn't think that's a real thing. But kind of, based on what we know, he probably kind of a little bit does.
You've literally been to the underworld.
Yeah.
I think it's okay for you to believe in spirits.
Also,
now.
evil spirit. We know there's good spirit. This is where I'm like, I don't.
Talked to them.
Yeah, he literally tarked. He went and tarked to Tarkin Raw.
Maybe he's just straining the credulity of, is there a demon actually in this chicken? And he's like, what are the fucking odds of that? But because of who you are and because of the situation, yes, it's fucking warranted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, and like they call Dana a good spirit.
Yeah.
So it's
Caitlin's
so
mom.
So there's evil.
Yeah.
What? Anyways.
Yeah.
Caitlin knows if she doesn't translate, Richard is just going to go get Chan to do it for her or to do it for him, Or
yeah.
he'll just gather the chickens one by one himself. He doesn't give a fuck.
Mhm.
If that's what he wants done, it's going to get done. The only thing refusing is going to do is display or, in my opinion, prove her lack of faith in him at this moment.
It is proof. It is proof.
That's what I thought it was interesting that the wording in the chapter was display a lack of faith, like there wasn't one. There is one.
Yeah.
There has been one.
Yeah.
And your thoughts currently are showing that there is one. You just don't want to show it publicly again in this chapter.
You can pick up on vibes.
Yeah.
We saw vibes earlier today where we watched two people interact. It wasn't creepy. It wasn't creepy. But we had people in front of us and we watched them interact and we could tell what was going on. The hunters are watching Richard and Kaylin go back and forth. And I'm sure Richard is being somewhat animated of like pointing at himself, pointing at the hunters, and then Kaylin like shaking her head and being probably visibly like, are you sure you want, like you can pick up on that.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure these hunters who are who are trained to like be looking at things that are designed to not be seen. Why do I keep saying design? Trained. Like they're supposed to be looking out for stealthy people sneaking up on them. They can fucking see body language that's directly in front of them.
Plus, they've probably been, like, with these two specifically, they don't understand the language. So since they've been around and they're, like, trying to keep them safe, they've probably been paying more attention to them specifically and their body language, because that's the only thing they can to understand what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
So even if you're not talking to me, I know that what you're saying isn't meant for me, but I'm going to keep observing because otherwise I'm going to get half the story and I know that. So I'm going to eavesdrop on your other conversation as much as I can, even though I can't actually hear it. I can, but I can't.
And they might know some common words.
The more these two fucking say them back and forth, they will.
Yeah.
That I know chicken now.
I was saying they all know the common word of chicken. They know it in multiple languages.
But it's just interesting because it's to the people, but also to Richard that she's displayed. But I think the point is of that with her and Richard is that Richard already feels that because he's already stopped himself in this chapter from fully talking to her about what's going on because she doesn't believe in him.
It almost feels like this is a point on conspiracy. What Richard is suggesting that they do is going to be a pain in the ass, and it seems a little bit unlikely. But this is the guy that's like, no, I know there's some shit going on. And everybody else is like, we just don't want to deal with that. That's not even the thing. Don't fucking, what are you doing? You're crazy. But then they find something. Like, what they did wrong is they didn't allow Richard to go into fact-finding mode full on from the beginning. Get all the facts first. Number one, get all the facts, figure out what the fuck is going on. And then from there, you either know you have a problem or you don't. Let him get that far before stifling his urge to be curious.
Let
That's
the dog
what caused the
sniff
problem.
the trail and figure out what's at the end first.
Let him run. If he doesn't freak out, probably nothing.
If it's a dead body, we'll deal with it.
Yeah. Has that happened?
With dogs? For
Okay.
sure.
No, I guess for whatever reason, I was thinking to you, and I was like, no, I don't think I would have known if I would have.
No.
Gosh, we sound guilty,
Not that
don't
we're going
we?
to talk about here.
No.
Anyway, the chapter ends with one last look at Richard, and then she addresses the hunters.
But we don't hear what she says. So
No.
we don't know if she editorializes
If she
his
goes,
words.
this motherfucker wants you to grab the chickens.
Just pinching the bridge of her nose. We're like, "Ah, okay, guys, look, this is going to sound fucking crazy. But we got to get all the chickens.
Listen, guys, Richard wants to cook all of the chickens at once. Okay? So what he wants, though, is he wants them gently. He doesn't want them agitated at all. Because then
Ruins the meat.
It'll ruin the meat.
Yep.
Okay, so just like
Stressed
gather
animals are
them
bad meat.
and put them all in the cage very nicely, every single one,
Mhm.
and don't talk to anybody else about what I just said.
Yeah. You got Temple Grand in them.
This isn't going to phase them at all.
The hunters?
Last night was Richard's wedding night. The man needs protein. They're like, look, we understand he feels like he needs to eat all the chickens, but he doesn't. We'll get him 1 or 2, and that should be plenty.
Hey, you know what's really nice and fun? The night after your wedding. You know it's also really fun? The second night after your wedding. You ain't as tired that night. That night, you're going to bed with a little bit more energy because you just had to go through that whole reception. You were dancing. You were talking. You're exhausted. That night's fun. Night 2's a little better.
Unless you spend your day chasing chickens. And I think that's the last wizard note for today's chapter. And that's our truth. So we would absolutely love to hear yours. Please write to us in your journey books to podcastatt@gmail.com or find us on any of our social medias.
Glug,
Glug, glug, glug, glug.
If you would like to support this podcast and hear some more of our amazing voices and our funny jokes, 'cause they're the funniest, find us over on patreon.com/podcastatt, where every tier is a happy tier.
More of that.
That's all for us, friends. I know what's happening over there.
Thank you all very, very much for listening. And we'll see you real soon.
Bye.
I just think, okay, that if we could just listen to each other's hearts, we'll find we're never too far apart, okay? Richard and Caitlin aren't that far apart here. Caitlin was worried about the chimes. Richard's worried about the chimes. And maybe love is the reason why. That for the first time ever, these two are seeing eye to eye.
Eye to eye.
You're welcome. Bow, bow, now, now. Bow, 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 now, now.
Holy fuck.